Oh, hello, everyone.
Hello.
Hey, Patrick, long time no see. Glad to see you again. Melanie, how's it going?
I know. I was reading some of her comments today. They were pretty good.
Any standouts?
Um, that one House of the Dragon stream where I talked about Spartacus,
Uh huh.
and I said, "Remember that scene where they talked about the oysters and the snails and blah blah blah?" And I went on and on about the oysters and the snails, and I was like, "Anybody remember that shit?" And everyone was like, "No, I don't remember that." Blah blah blah.
Does someone
Melanie
remember it?
Melanie commented and she was like, "Yeah, I remember that." And I'm pretty sure that they cut it from the original film and then they added it later. But she knew exactly what I was talking about. And I said that I could understand why they cut it originally because it's very pro LGBTQ. But that movie came out in like the late 50s, early 60s.
Oh, so that was a no-no.
So she's like, "I'm pretty sure they cut that in the original like theatrical release, but they added it back in later." And I was like, "Okay, I could see that." But she knew what I was talking about. So I answered her back and I was like, someone knew what I was talking about when I was talking about this scene. And everyone was like, "I don't know what you're talking about."
I still don't know what you're talking about. I
Well,
never
because
saw that. I saw the Spartacus series. Was it HBO? Or was it Stars?
stars.
Stars. That was a great series.
Well, the
I was
movie,
really sad that the original Spartacus died after the first season. Maybe a second season. Either way, he died too soon.
he had really bad cancer.
Yeah.
I
But he was
remember
great. He was perfect as Spartacus.
he was really good.
I did kind of end up liking the new guy, but it wasn't the same.
It wasn't the same, but the third season was like a prequel or something with a different character. Wasn't the third season like a prequel?
No, I don't think so.
I think it was.
Not unless they released another miniseries, because I think there was 4 seasons altogether,
Oh my god.
and 3 or 4 seasons.
Hi, Caleb B.
No. And also, hi, Glenn. I don't know if we said hi to you, or we were too busy talking.
Um,
No worries, Glenn. Know about the work commitments.
Either way, I remember watching Spartacus at art school with a couple of friends who were like really into it, and we were watching it. We watched the whole first season, and then he got cancer, and we watched the whole second season, and blah blah blah, and it was all this. Is he gonna? Is he not gonna? Is he gonna make it? Blah blah blah, and then he died, and I just remember all this drama with all my friends over the fact that he died and the TV show not being the same without him and yada yada yada. And it wasn't, but always in the back of my mind, I was always like, "Y'all, you never saw the original. You never watched the movie with Kirk Douglas, the original Spartacus." Which, having watched both, having watched the original movie, and having watched the Stars TV show, I'm just gonna say the movie is so good.
I'll have to watch it.
It's so good. It's
Uh,
not
we're
even
doing-
the same.
We're doing both, Kayla. Today and tomorrow. We had some extra time today, so we decided to stream today too.
Yes.
Oh, Atlanta rush hour does not sound fun. I can't drive in cities, man, especially at rush hour.
Well, can you imagine Atlanta?
That's
with
that's
all
what
the
I mean by cities. Like Syracuse is the biggest city I'm willing to drive in. I once took a wrong turn and ended up driving into New York City, and I will never do that again. Ever.
That's the worst. Oh my god.
My GPS took me on like, well, actually, okay, so it wasn't my GPS's fault. I took a wrong turn, and then to correct me, my GPS was taking me this roundabout way, and all of a sudden I'm like pulling on to like the Brooklyn Bridge or George Washington Bridge or something. I can't remember which. I'm just like, good God. Is there a turnaround here? Can I just like cut over, please?
There's no UE to be had.
No.
Oh my God, that's the worst. You want to talk about, oh, I hate traffic. Oh, I try to avoid traffic. Here he is, like, I tried to avoid traffic, and I drove headlong into New York City traffic. Oh, that's the worst. Oh. I do have some sympathy, though, because Ren's in Atlanta, so he's probably facing all of that, like, Florida exodus stuff going on right now.
Oh, I didn't hear about that, but that would definitely be awful.
Well, Hurricane Ian
Oh, yeah.
was so awful. But I bet there's
But
just... I feel like there's just
everyone would kind of be going back, though, now. Well, I guess... Well, it would be gridlock, depending on which direction you're going. Either way. Oh, come on, Magnificent
But I bet there's
Orange.
just a lot of people either coming back or going from or whatever. But I bet in that region, there's just a lot of congestion for whatever's going on.
Yeah.
For just that specifically,
Yeah.
Hurricane Ian, either people
Yeah,
leaving...
he says, yes, that's what's
Yeah.
going on.
Or just like linemen coming in, construction coming in, like all kinds of shit. I can't imagine.
And I know we do have some viewers from Florida, so I hope you are all safe.
Yes, anyone
You
who
watch this.
Yeah, anyone who watches this from Florida, hope you are all okay. Hope you're all safe. Wild times.
Well, I'm glad they were able to get out before the hurricane hit Ren. So Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde tonight.
Yeah.
Are you excited
Um,
to continue?
yes, hopefully I can handle it.
Why can't you handle it?
I don't know. I was talking about Dingo before.
Not ready for
Well, I gotta get it
the
up here.
magnificence.
That
is the orange. I think Jackson's happy that we're streaming again. It's like he knows when we stream, because I'll be here working and he just doesn't care to be on my lap. He has a little bed over here next to me that he'll lay on. And then as soon as we stream, he's like, ooh, time to get up on the lap
Right.
and cuddle.
Time to be
And he just starts purring.
in person. Time to be one-on-one. In person. A nice man. Well, I do have to find it on here. So you gotta give me a minute to at least do that. I did not do that before. We live streamed.
Oh, that's cool, Kayla. Do you know where in the U.S. they were going to visit? I feel like right now is the perfect time to visit the Northeast. It's
Yeah?
actually been pretty nice.
Northeast is awesome right now.
Super wet.
It's very wet. It's raining a lot. But the colors are beautiful. Okay. Here we go.
So do you remember what happened last time?
Yes, I do, actually.
Mr. Hyde curb stomped some girl. Trampled her.
And the lawyer and the guy who witnessed it, who is the lawyer's friend, they were talking about it, and it was terrible.
And he went into this house, and some other guy came out and gave them a big check.
Yeah. Some dude just was like, here's like 100 pounds for the damages. Don't worry about it. Here you go. And everyone was like, okay. But then they looked at the house and they were like, yo, this is a trap house. And this respectable young gentleman came out of it. But it's a trap house. But he had so much money.
Someone's got to provide the drugs. Oh, New York? Yeah, they're going to have a good time. New York is really nice this time of year. The leaves are all changing. It's like perfect temperature. A little chilly. This year it really went from like super hot to too cold for my liking. There wasn't any of that like high 70s weather this year. It was just like, here, have a 90-degree day. Tomorrow it's going to be 60. You're probably happy about that, though.
I was. But it did come about really quickly. Oh my god. Are you kidding?
What?
I've got the hiccups right now.
Oh, no.
Tell me about it.
Chug some water. Do you need me to scare you?
I'm trying to chug water. Oh my god. Ow.
You're supposed to hang upside down. Right? Wasn't that?
Do you want to hang me upside down?
I'm good. No, what was it they said? You have to drink water upside down to get rid of the hiccups. I don't know if that was ever like a real thing or if people just said it to play a prank. Because
this is obnoxious.
It's very hard.
Because I've got the story ready and now I can't read it. I just got to the next chapter.
Well, you could read it. It'd just be like experiencing a dial-up connection.
No one is going to enjoy...
And Mr. Hyde...
Mr. Hyde trampled upon a young...
What kind of hiccups do you have?
That was my dial-up sound.
Oh.
Oh my god. Maybe that cured it. We'll see. Maybe the cough killed it.
No, I just meant dial up by like it'd be buffering and skipping.
Well, maybe that cured it. Hang on. Let's give it 5 minutes. Maybe that did it. No. I will not read with hiccups. I will walk away and take 10 minutes before I read with hiccups. But I think they are gone.
You'd be that type of actress, wouldn't you? This is the wrong latte. I'm not going on.
No.
Not until you fix it.
No.
I will not go up there.
I did not say that. I did not say that.
Drinking anything but the finest foamed goat's milk.
I don't want to talk about goats.
Okay.
Me and the goats have beef now.
Why?
I told you yesterday the big male goat rammed me in the uterus.
Well, what were you doing? The man's just protecting his ladies.
I was
You must have been doing something to protect
I was
them.
standing there, literally doing nothing. I was doing nothing. I just stood there with my dirt fork in my hand, not doing anything. And then he just...
Sure it wasn't a sheep?
Yes.
Okay. Well, because sheep's, those things' horns are freaking huge and scary.
Yeah, I'm aware. I met some sheeps today with some big horns, okay? I met some. No, this was goats. This was goats, and it was boom.
Gotta, constant vigilance.
Yeah, right. Mm-hmm. There's like 15 of them all around you, moving around all the time.
Constant vigilance.
Yeah,
You can never let down your guard.
Yeah, okay. He
When you're looking at this one, you gotta be wondering what that guy's doing over there.
He popped me in the butt.
See, he gave you a warning pop.
2 times, and he kept butting me in the I couldn't get away from him. Because he just kept...
You had all the warnings in the world.
What am I supposed to do?
Get out! Leave him alone.
No, I can't.
You're scaring him.
Well, he's gone now. It's fine. I'm just saying... I got bopped in the uterus by a goat. It wasn't the end of the world, but I wasn't ready.
You should have been. He was warning you. It's like you never even read the Harry Potter books. Never even listened to Moody once.
There are so many goats. There are so many of them. And I have to do what I have to do. I have to rake the poops. I can't not rake the poops. Because this dude wants to be like this all the time.
Yes, Hannah. Many goats. I don't know why I said Hannah like that.
Many goats doing this.
All right.
Doing this.
Hiccups gone?
Yes, they are gone.
All right.
But he's a nice man. He's fine. He hit me, but I don't hate him for it.
Oh, I wouldn't.
He's an alright dude.
He probably hates you, but you know.
Maybe he does. Maybe I finally found the animal at the park that is just like, I hate you.
Should name him Tom Brady. Because he's the GOAT.
Oh my god. No.
Oh man, I'm funny.
Listen, if the one animal that hates me is a goat at that park, I'll take it. I will take it because there are far more dangerous animals that could hate me. I'll take it.
Like Mr. Hyde. So let's hear about him.
We want to hear about Mr. Hyde?
Yeah.
All right.
Let's just get into it because I think the last time we only read like one.
We read one.
We were on tangents all.
Yeah, we got distracted like we just did just now talking about goats.
I was trying to get you.
I know. Okay. Oh my god, the text is so small.
You can zoom in.
I know, but then it won't fit the screen, and then I have to.
Oh yeah, that's much worse.
Yes.
Can you turn on its side? Yeah, there you go.
Okay. All right. Chapter 2. Search for Mr. Hyde. Y'all tell me if my reading is garbage. Okay?
Always do.
Okay. That evening, Mr. Utterson came home to his bachelor house in sombre spirits and sat down to dinner without relish. It was his custom of a Sunday, when this meal was over, to sit close by the fire, a volume of some dry divinity on his reading desk, until the clock of the neighbouring church rang out the hour of 12, when he would go soberly and gratefully to bed. On this night, however, as soon as the cloth was taken away, he took up a candle and went into his business room. There he opened his safe, took from the most private part of it a document endorsed on the envelope as Dr. Jekyll's will, and sat down with a clouded brow to study its contents. The will was holograph, for Mr. Utterson thought though he took charge of it now that it was made, had refused to lean... I'm sorry, I'm having such a terrible time.
You okay?
No, I'm not. I'm having an awful time. How did it sound? Did it sound okay? I feel like it sounds awful. Had refused to lend the least assistance in the making of it. It provided not only that in the case of decease of Henry Jekyll, M.D., D.C.L., L.D., LLDD, F.R.S., etc., all his possessions were to pass into the hands of his friend and benefactor, Edward Hyde, but that in case of Dr. Jekyll's disappearance or unexplained absence for any period exceeding 3 calendar months, the said Edward Hyde should step into the said Henry Jekyll's shoes without further delay and free from any burthen or obligation beyond the payment of a few small sums to the members of the doctor's household. This document had long been the lawyer's eyesore. It offended him both as a lawyer and as a lover of the sane and customary sides of life, to whom the fanciful was the immodest. And hitherto it was his ignorance of Mr. Hyde that had swelled his indignation. Now, by a sudden turn, it was his knowledge. It was already bad enough when the name was but a name of which he could learn no more. It was worse when it began to be clothed upon with detestable attributes, and out of the shifting, insubstantial mist that had so long baffled his eye, there leaped up the sudden, definite presentment of a fiend. That's what I'm saying. I feel like I'm reading like garbage.
You're doing fine.
I thought it was madness, he said, as he replaced the obnoxious paper in the safe. And now I begin to fear it is disgrace. With that he blew out his candle, put on a greatcoat, and set forth in the direction of Cavendish Square, the citadel of medicine, where his friend, the great Dr. Lanyon, had his house and received his crowding patients. If anyone knows, it'll be Lanyon, he had thought. The solemn butler knew and welcomed him. He was subjected to no stage of delay, but ushered direct from the door to the dining room, where Dr. Lanyon sat alone over his wine. It was a hearty, healthy, dapper, red-faced gentleman, with a shock of hair prematurely white, and a boisterous and decided manner. At sight of Mr. Utterson, he sprang up from his chair and welcomed him with both hands. The geniality, as was the way of the man, was somewhat theoretical to the eye, but it reposed on genuine feeling, for these two were old friends, old mates both at school and college, both thorough respecters of themselves and of each other, and what does not always follow, men who thoroughly enjoyed each other's company. After a little rambling talk, the author led up to the subject which so disagreeably occupied his mind. "I suppose, Lanyon," said he, "you and I must be the two oldest friends that Henry Jekyll has?" "I wish the friends were younger," chuckled Dr. Lanyon. "But I suppose we are. And what of it? I see little of him now." "Indeed," said Utterson. "I thought you had a bond of common interest." "We had," was the reply. "Ooh! But it is more than 10 years since Henry Jekyll became too fanciful for me. He began to go wrong in mind, and though of course I continue to take an interest in him from old sake's sake, as they say, I see and I have seen devilish little of the man. Such unscientific balderdash," added the doctor, flushing suddenly purple. "Would have estranged Damon and Pythias." This little spirit of temper was somewhat of a relief to Mr. Utterson. "They've only differed on some point of science," he thought, and being a man of no scientific passions, except in the manner of conveyancing, he even added, "It is nothing worse than that." He gave his friend a few seconds to recover his composure, and then approached the question he had come to put. Did you ever come across a protégé of his, one Hyde?" he asked. "Hyde?" repeated Lanyon. "No, never heard of him since my time." "Ah!" That was the amount of information that the lawyer carried back with him to the great dark bed on which he tossed to and fro until the small hours of the morning began to grow large. It was a night of little ease to his toiling mind, toiling in mere darkness and besieged by questions. 6 o'clock struck on the bells of the church that was so conveniently near to Mr. Utterson's dwelling, and still he was digging at the problem. Hitherto it had touched him on the intellectual side alone, but now his imagination was so engaged, or rather enslaved, and as he lay and tossed in the In the gross darkness of the night and the curtained room, Mr. Enfield's tale went by before his mind in a scroll of lighted pictures. He would be aware of the great field of lamps of a nocturnal city, then of the figure of a man walking swiftly, then of a child running from the doctor's, and then these met, and that human juggernaut trode the child down and passed on regardless of her screams. Or else he would see a room in a rich house, where his friend lay asleep, dreaming and smiling at his dreams, and then the door of that room would be opened, the curtains of the bed plucked apart, the sleeper recalled, and lo, there would stand by his side a figure to whom power was given, and even at that dead hour he must rise and do its bidding. The figure in these two phases haunted the lawyer all night, and if at any time he dozed over, it was but to see it glide more stealthily through sleeping houses, or move the more swiftly and still more that is driving me nuts, and still the more swiftly even to dizziness, though wider labyrinths of lamp-lighted city, and at every street corner crush a child and leave her screaming. And still the figure had no face by which he might know it. Even in his dreams it had no face, or no one that baffled him and melted before his eyes. And thus it was that there sprang up and grew apace in the lawyer's mind a singularly strong, almost inordinate, curiosity to behold the features of the real Mr. Hyde. If he, and perhaps roll altogether away, as was the habit of mysterious things that when well examined, he might see a reason for his friend's strange preference of bondage, or call it what you please, and even for the startling cause of the will. At least it would be a face worth seeing, the face of a man who is without bowels of mercy, a face which had but to show itself to rise up, in the mind of the unimpressionable Enfield, a spirit of unenduring hatred. From that time onward, Mr. Utterson began to haunt the door in the by-street of shops, in the morning before office hours, at noon when business was plenty and time scarce, at night under the face of the fogged city moon, by all lights and all hours of solitude of concourse, the lawyer was to be found on his chosen post. If he be Mr. Hyde, he had thought, I shall be Mr. Seek. And at last his patience was rewarded. It was a fine dry night, frost in the air, the streets as clean as a ballroom floor, the lamps unshaken by any wind, drawing a regular pattern of light and shadow. By 10 o'clock, when the shops were closed, the by-street was very solitary, and, in spite of the low growl of London from all round, very silent. Small sounds carried far. Domestic sounds out of the houses were clearly audible on either side of the roadway, and the rumour of the approach of any passenger preceded him by a long time. Mr. Utterson had been some minutes at his post, when he was unaware of an odd light footstep drawing near. In the course of his nightly patrols, he had long grown accustomed to the quaint effect which the footfalls of a single person, while he is still a great way off, suddenly sprang out distinct from the vast hum and clutter of the city. Yet his attention had never before been so sharply and decisively arrested, and it was with a strong superstitious prevision of success that he withdrew into the entry of the court. The steps drew swiftly nearer, and swelled out suddenly louder as they turned the end of the street. The lawyer, looking forth from the entry, could soon see what manner of man he had to deal with. He was small and very plainly dressed, and the look of him, even at that distance, went somehow strongly against the watcher's inclination. But he made straight for the door, crossing the roadways to save time, and as he came he drew a key from his pocket like one approaching home. Mr. Utterson stepped out and touched him on the shoulder as he passed. "Mr. Hyde, I think?" Mr. Hyde shrank back with a hissing intake of breath, but his fear was only momentary, and though he did not look the lawyer in the face, he answered coolly enough. "That is my name. What do you want?" "I see you're going in," returned the lawyer. "I'm an old friend of Dr. Jekyll's, Mr. Utterson of Gaunt Street. You must have heard of my name, and meeting you so conveniently, I thought you might admit me."
"You will not find Dr. Jekyll. He is from home,"
replied Mr. Hyde, blowing in the key, and then suddenly, but still without looking up,
"How did you know me?" he asked.
"On your side," said Mr. Utterson. "Will you do me a favour?"
"With pleasure," replied the other. "What shall it be?"
"Will you let me see your face?" asked the lawyer. Mr. Hyde appeared to hesitate, and then, as if upon some sudden reflection, fronted about with an air of defiance, and the pair stared at each other pretty fixedly for a few seconds. "Now I shall know you again," said Mr. Utterson. "It may be useful."
"Yes," returned Mr. Hyde. It is as well we've met, and apropos, you shall have my address."
And he gave a number of a street in Soho. "Good God!" thought Mr. Utterson. "Can he too have been thinking of the will?" But he kept his feelings to himself and only grunted in acknowledgment of the address.
"And now," said the other, "how do you know me?"
"By description," was the reply.
"Whose description?"
"We have common friends," said Mr. Utterson.
"Common friends?"
echoed Mr. Hyde, a little hoarsely.
"Who are they?"
"Jekyll, for instance," said the lawyer.
"He never told you!"
cried Mr. Hyde, with a flush of anger.
"I did not think you could have lied."
"Come," said Mr. Utterson, "that is not fitting language." The other snarled aloud into a savage laugh, and the next moment, with extraordinary quickness, he'd unlocked the door and disappeared into the house. The lawyer stood a while Mr. Hyde had left him, the picture of disquietude. Then he began to slowly mount the street, pausing every step or two and putting his hand to his brow like a man in mental perplexity. The problem he was thus debating as he walked was one of a class that is rarely solved. Mr. Hyde was pale and dwarfish. He gave an impression of deformity without any nameable malformation. He had a displeasing smile. He'd borne himself to the lawyer with a sort of murderous mixture of timidity and boldness, and he spoke with a husky, whispering, and somewhat broken voice. All these were points against him, but not all of these together could explain the hitherto unknown disgust, loathing, and fear with which Mr. Utterson regarded him. "There must be something else," said the perplexed gentleman. "There is something more. If I could find a name for it. God bless me, the man seems hardly human. Something troglodytic, shall we say? Or can it be the old story of Dr. Fell? Or is it the mere radiance of a foul soul that thus transpires through and transfigures its clay continent? The last, I think, for, oh, my poor Harry Jekyll, if I read Satan's signature upon a face, it is on that of your new friend." Round the corner from the by-street there was a square of ancient handsome houses, now for the most part decayed from their high estate and let-in flats, and chambers to all sorts and conditions of men, map engravers, architects, shady lawyers, and the agents of obscure enterprises. One house, however, second from the corner, was still occupied entire, and at the door of this, which wore a great air of wealth and comfort, though it was now plunged in darkness except for the fanlight, Mr. Utterson stopped and knocked. A well-dressed elderly servant opened the door. "Is Dr. Jekyll at home, Poole?" asked the lawyer.
"I will see, Mr. Utterson,"
said Poole, admitting the visitor, as he spoke, into a large, low-roofed, comfortable hall, paved with flags, warmed, after the fashion of a country house, by a bright open fire and furnished with costly cabinets of oak.
"Will you wait here by the fire, sir, or shall I give you a light in the dining room?"
"Here, thank you," said the lawyer, and he drew near and leaned on the tall fender. This hall, in which he was now left alone, was a pet fancy of his friend the doctor's, and
and Utterson himself was wont to speak of it as the pleasantest room in London. But tonight there was a shudder in his blood. The face of Hyde was heavy upon his memory. He felt, what was rare with him, a nausea and distaste of life, and in the gloom of his spirits he seemed to read a menace in the flickering of the firelight on the polished cabinets and the uneasy starting of the shadow on the roof. He was ashamed of his relief when Poole presently returned to announce that Dr. Jekyll was gone out. "I saw Mr. Hyde go in by the old dissecting room, Poole," he said. "Is that right, when Dr. Jekyll is from home?"
"Quite right, Mr. Utterson, sir," replied the servant. "Mr. Hyde has a key."
"Your master seems to repose a great deal of trust in that young man, Poole," resumed the other musingly.
"Yes, sir, he does indeed," said Poole. "We have all orders to obey him."
"I do not think I ever met Mr. Hyde?" asked Utterson.
"Oh, no, dear sir. He never dines here," replied the butler. "Indeed, we see very little of him on this side of the house. He mostly comes and goes by the laboratory."
"Well, good night, Poole."
"Good night, Mr. Utterson."
And the lawyer set out homeward with a very heavy heart.
"Poor Harry Jekyll," he thought. "My mind misgives me he is in deep waters. He was mild when he was young, a long while ago to be sure, but in the law of God there is no statute of limitations. It must be that, the ghost of some old sin, the cancer of some concealed disgrace, punishment coming, pede claudo, years after memory is forgotten and self-love condone the fault."
And the lawyer, scared by the thought, brooded a while on his own past, groping in all the corners of memory, lest by chance some jack-in-the-box of an old iniquity that should leap to light there. His past was fairly blameless. Few men could read the rolls of their life with less apprehension. Yet he was humbled to the dust by many ill things he'd done, and raised up again into a sober and fearful gratitude by the many he had come so near to doing yet avoided. And then by a return on his former subject, he conceived a spark of hope. This Mr. Hyde, if he was studied, thought he, must have secrets of his own, black secrets, by the look of him, secrets compared to which poor Jekyll's worst would be like sunshine. Things cannot continue as they are. It turns me cold to think of this creature stealing like a thief to Harry's bedside. Poor Harry, what awakening! And the danger of it! For if this Hyde suspects the existence of the will, he may grow impatient to inherit. I must put my shoulders to the wheel. If Jekyll will but let me, he added. If Jekyll will but let me. For once more he saw before his mind's eye, as clear as transparency, the strange clauses of the will.
Oh my god, I thought that was awful. Ooh.
It's been a while since you did a live stream. Well,
that was rough. That was so rough.
You did fine.
No, it sucked. It was
not as much as it sucks for Mr. Hyde.
I feel bad for the butler.
Yeah.
The butler is very clearly just being like, he has a key. It's fine. Everything's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Nothing strange going on here.
Yeah.
No secret serums here. Just two guys living in the same
sharing
house.
an apartment. It's fine. It's fine. I guess you could read this as a pro-LGBTQ story if you really wanted to.
I don't know. I feel like it might not work that well that way. Little monster destroying the community.
I just meant
like,
in that.
That's
no, I just meant
really help.
No.
Yeah,
I just meant in that small, teeny tiny little context.
Oh yeah. Say the whole
Not
thing,
the
like,
no, not the greater whole of the story.
Let's
No.
not
No.
do that.
No, I don't want to do that. I just meant this little tiny piece. So Hyde is the inheritor of the will of Dr. Jekyll?
Yep.
All right. That's stupid.
Why?
Dr. Jekyll, what's wrong with you? That is dumb. You moron. That just seems dumb.
Well, yeah, but
I am giving my inheritance to my tiny evil self.
well, I mean, he's giving it to himself. Not really inheriting, just
But his tiny evil self.
yeah.
His tiny evil self is impulsive.
Maybe his tiny evil self is very manipulative.
Maybe his tiny evil self knows how to play the
Either
stock market.
either do it, or I swear the next time I take over our body, I will jump out our window.
You got me there.
Yeah.
It's alright, Kayla. You didn't miss much. You only read a chapter.
Well, we might read more.
We might read more, but she said she had to go to work.
Yeah. So, what do you think? Would you have shown the lawyer your face if you were Hyde?
Dude, no, he's a lawyer. I wouldn't show me as myself. I wouldn't show a lawyer anything unless he was my lawyer. I don't know this dude. He just shows up and he's like, "Yo, I'm a lawyer. Show me your shit." No.
We know that Hyde trampled a kid. I'm still on the fence on who's a worse person. Just 'cause he's a lawyer.
He's a lawyer. Like, yo, if you're not my lawyer, I ain't telling you shit. I ain't showing you shit. I ain't talking about shit. No. No. You my lawyer? Okay, we gonna talk. You're not my lawyer? Mm-mm, son. Mm-mm. No. Mm-mm. Mr. Hyde is in the right here. He has a right to be suspicious.
Yes.
Don't talk. Don't show your face. Don't say nothing. Mm-mm. Plead the fifth, son. Hey, Ren has
10
moved.
miles.
10
Nice.
miles. That is fantastic. You know what?
That's like a
in
marathon
celebration-
gridlock.
In celebration of all that time moved, here, I will show you.
You know he can't. He's driving.
Well,
Don't be a bad influence on people.
I will show everyone else a celebratory image of Dingo. Here you go. Look at my mans. Look at him. There you go. See my mans? Look at him. And see how beautiful he is. And perfect. There you go.
Surprised you haven't revealed your grand plan of turning our yard into a kangaroo sanctuary.
If y'all want to contribute money to our yard becoming a kangaroo sanctuary, we welcome it. I'm just saying.
It's the only time I'm going to refuse money, but please don't enable her.
No, enable me. Enable me.
Please don't.
Grant me the funds to turn our yard into a kangaroo house. What? You don't want kangaroos?
I do, but it would take up our whole yard. And
Why
what's
is
Bailey going to do?
Bailey can go in the other yard.
Bailey's going to get his ass kicked.
Bailey can go in the other yard. Bailey will get his ass kicked.
Yes.
He can go in the other yard.
I don't want to have to go out there and punch the kangaroo in the face like that one guy did.
Listen, I know how to do it. I've worked with the kangaroo.
Didn't you say, like,
I
So
can handle it.
recently, a person died from a kangaroo, but you said that the last person died in like 1930,
It's been like 100 years since someone died.
and he was rescuing his dog from the kangaroo. The kangaroo like killed him, right?
What, like 100 years ago?
Yeah, it was like 1930 or something, or 1903. It
I
was
don't
19 and a 3 in there.
I don't remember.
Either way.
Also,
Kangaroos and dogs obviously don't get along.
no, yeah, they can get along. Okay, yeah, they can. And the video that went viral.
Ren, thank you.
Oh, thank you so much. Will you do live streams with kangaroos? I would love to do live streams with the kangaroos. If you can fund for me to have a kangaroo yard,
Oh my God.
then we will have live streams with the kangaroos. And you can sit with me in the backyard, and me and Dingo will do kangaroo fun time. But we gotta fund it, guys. We gotta put in the money to fence the yard and get him a little house for wintertime because it gets cold.
Please don't.
We can make it happen. We can
Please
make it
don't.
happen.
Oh. Why you do this?
I'm just. You would say no.
Also,
I'm
that's a
just
hard
saying-
one. You're asking me about my favorite animal
Well,
here.
listen, that video that went viral where the dude punched the kangaroo that attacked the dude's dog.
It was so fun. The kangaroo's reaction is what made that video because he like punches the kangaroo and the kangaroo's just like, what?
Also, just saying, it was a different species.
Oh, was that a gray?
It was an eastern or western gray. It was not a red.
And guess what? Yeah, and reds are bigger and stronger.
But baby boy is not that big yet. We could neuter him. It'd be okay.
Anyway, Dr. Jekyll.
He's a sweet boy. He's a nice man's. He will
Look,
be a
if
nice
there's-
man's.
If there's anything we've learned from Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde so far, it's that size does not matter. Even little people can be assholes. Sometimes the biggest assholes.
And
In
sometimes,
Mr. Hyde's case.
and sometimes, some of them are the sweetest babies.
Mr. Hyde's a sweet baby?
No,
Do you think that's what Dr. Jekyll says about him? That's why he put him in his will.
I feel like Dr.
He's-
Jekyll
he's
doesn't know what the
misunderst-
fuck Mr. Hyde is doing. And it's no.
He's misunderstood. He needs this money. In case anything happens to me. Why do you put him in the will if anything? Like, you share the same body.
This is what I said at the beginning, and you were like, no, it makes sense. I get it. Will your shit to yourself.
I was playing devil's advocate.
Okay, but now we're talking about Dingo, and now we're like, no. Bad things come in cute packages. Blah, 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 blah. No, good things come in cute packages. They are lovely. They are sweet.
Dingo is very handsome, but
He's nice. He's sweet. He's a sweet man.
Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. Let's stay focused.
He is a sweet man.
Let's stay focused.
You don't even know. You have never even met him.
I have all the sweet man that I need right here. Come on, you want to get up? You want to say hi? Ooh, he doesn't want to get up. Oh, wait. Yep, he does. Okay, come on. There we go.
Yes, and him and the boy would be best friends.
So what's the next chapter called?
And if anyone got in a fight, it would be his fault.
So what's the next chapter called? It would no.
Yes.
Stop that.
Yes, it would, because he gets too excited.
So what's the next chapter?
I don't know. He would be too excited.
What do you predict will happen?
Mr. Utterson is going to be nosy. Or Mr. Hyde is going to be on his bullshit again. I don't know. Or Dingo, the story of the sweetest baby that ever lived. By me.
Oh, no worries, Melanie. Catch you later.
Yeah, you're good. The next chapter is called Dr. Jekyll Was Quite at Ease.
See?
Because Dingo got to live at his house forever and ever,
Because
happily
Mr.
ever.
Mr. Hyde turned over a new leaf and realized that walking over children is wrong. We walk around children, not over them.
Dingo wouldn't walk
Or
on
if
children.
we are to knock them over, we at least step over them after they're on the ground.
Bailey, would you and Dingo be best friends? Yes, you would. You would teach him the way of the boy.
I mean, I guess Bailey was kind of a Mr. Hyde at one point. Because when he was a puppy, he did not respect Ramona as a force to go around.
No, he still doesn't.
He does.
No.
No, he
No.
never knocks her over. He like slaps her with his tail sometimes when we come home.
He bulldozes her
No, he
still.
doesn't.
Yes, he does. I've seen him do it.
No.
Don't. Are you defending his negative behavior?
No. There is no negative behavior to defend.
Really?
Anyways, so what do you think is going to happen in this one?
Dr. Jekyll's gonna wake up from his drug-fueled binge and be like, yo, everything's good. Everything's fine. Like,
Go
I
up
didn't
to
step...
his friends, you're not going to believe what happened to me last night, guys.
Yeah, that's what's gonna happen.
Well, let's
Bailey,
find out.
Bailey, if a kangaroo comes to live here, how will you be? Will you be accepting of that?
He will be grrr. Couldn't get his gel in it. Grrr.
Like this. Like this.
Oh, don't pinch his nose.
No, he will be nice. Or else.
That's something you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to wrap anything around a dog's muzzle because it cuts off all their air. Their nose is very sensitive, so you'll cut off the air in their nose too, and they can suffocate if you wrap anything around their muzzle.
No, that makes sense. This is the most, like, sensitive...
Yeah, that's why.
Part of
That's
the
what I was
bui-
saying. Don't squeeze it.
I wasn't squeezing. I was...
Well, when you were gurring him.
I did love him. I did love the PD. I just have to go potty.
Okay.
Can't believe you're so unsupportive.
I am not unsupportive.
Wait.
Let's see.
I saw it.
Oh, that was quick. I was gonna look at comments real quick. Oh, never mind. Maybe we do have time to look at a couple comments. Linked. I'll have to make another post for Chamber of Secrets on the YouTube because I posted it. So for anyone who doesn't know, the Chamber of Secrets videos are up on our second channel. But you have to follow the playlist link, which is on our Discord. But after this, I'll make a post on YouTube with that link as well. You guys can go see that.
Hi, Lola.
Wait, what's it? I can't figure out how Damon's wife got shot.
Yeah,
Wait, what? Damon's wife did not get shot? She got...
I didn't answer that.
You got.
I didn't answer that comment because I did not know.
I'm
what
going to
say.
assume that that's sarcasm. But,
Why don't you want this to live with us?
because we are reading Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde right now.
You're so unsupportive. Look at it. Look at it.
No, because he's very adorable. And
He's-
he's a very handsome man, but...
He's the baby. He's the baby. The baby. The baby. Look at the baby. Look at the baby.
Yep.
Yes. He's the baby. Not you.
And can
You're
we move on?
You're the baby. You sit there though.
Being unsupportive now. This poor Lola.
Lola has lived here. Lola currently lives here. I don't have to fight for Lola to
That's
live
right,
here.
Lola. You're old news. It's okay. I still love you.
Lola lives here. She's earned her right. I have to fight for others' rights to be here. Look that butt. That a cute butt. That a cute butt. That a boop 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 butt.
Focus.
Boop 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 butt. Alright, focus. Alright. What are we doing? We're reading a story right now.
Unless you're not feeling up to it. You were coughing a lot.
I was coughing. Let's see how this goes.
All right. I was gonna.
I know I was coughing
you
a
might
lot.
be getting Ramona's cold.
No.
Okay.
I cannot get what Ramona had, because if I do, then I can't work. Guys, speaking of which, I got to work with zebras today. How cool is that? I got to work with the zebras. Come on, man. That's awesome. And the oryx. You guys, Google oryx. I guarantee you, if you Google oryx, they are bibbies. Dim's bibbies. Look them up. They bibbies. Bactrian camels, though, they're nightmare fuel. I'm just saying. Alright, what is this? This is Chapter 3. Dr. Jekyll was quite at ease.
That's a nice ring to it. Chapter 3. Dr. Jekyll was quite at ease.
A fortnight later, by excellent good fortune, the doctor gave one of his pleasant dinners to some 5 or 6 old cronies, all intelligent, reputable men, and all judges of good wine, and Mr. Utterson so contrived that he remained behind after the others had departed. This was no new arrangement, but a thing that had befallen many scores of times. Where Mr. Utterson was liked, he was liked well. Hosts loved to detain the dry lawyer when the light-hearted and loose-tongued had already their foot on the threshold. They liked to sit a while in his unobtrusive company, practising for solitude, sobering their minds in the man's rich silence after the expense and strain of gaiety. To this rule, Dr. Jekyll was no exception, and as he now sat on the opposite side of the fire, a large, well-made, smooth-faced man of 50, with something of a stylish cast perhaps, but every mark of capacity and kindness, you could see by his looks that he cherished for Mr. Utterson a sincere and warm affection. "I've been wanting to speak to you, Jekyll," began the latter. "You know that will of yours." A close observer might have gathered that the topic was distasteful, but the doctor carried it off gaily. "My poor Utterson," said he, "you are unfortunate in such a client. I never saw a man so distressed as you were by my will, unless it were that hide-bound pendant Lanyon, and what he call my scientific heresies. Oh, I know he is a good fellow, you needn't frown, an excellent fellow, and I always mean to see more of him, but a hide-bound pendant for all that, an ignorant, blatant pedant. I was never more disappointed in any man than Lanyon." "You know I never approved of it," pursued Utterson, ruthlessly disregarding the fresh topic. "My will? Yes, certainly I know that," said the doctor, a trifle sharply. "You have told me so." "Well, I tell you so again," continued the lawyer. I have been learning something of young Hyde." The large, handsome face of Dr. Jekyll grew pale to the very lips, and there came a blackness about his eyes. "I do not care to hear more," said he. "This is a matter I thought we had agreed to drop." "What I heard was abominable," said Utterson. "It can make no change. You do not understand my position," returned the doctor, with a certain incoherency of manner. "I am very painfully situated, Utterson. My position is a very strange one. It is one of those affairs that cannot be mended by talking." "Jekyll," said Utterson, "you know me. I am a man to be trusted. Make a clean breast of this in confidence, and I make no doubt I can get you out of it." "My good Utterson," said the doctor, "this is very good of you. This is downright good of you, and I cannot find words to thank you in. I believe you fully. I would trust you before any man alive, before myself, if I could make that choice. But indeed it isn't what you fancy. It is not as bad as that. And just to put your good heart at rest, I will tell you one thing. The moment I choose, I can be rid of Mr. Hyde. I give you my hand upon that. And I thank you again and again. And I will just add one little word, Utterson, that I'm sure you'll take in good part. This is a private matter, and I beg of you to let it sleep." Utterson reflected a little, looking into the fire. "I have no doubt you are perfectly right," he said at last, getting to his feet. "Well, but since we have touched upon this business, and for the last time, I hope," continued the doctor, "there is one point I should like you to understand. I have really a very great interest in poor Hyde. I know you have seen him, he told me so, and I fear he was rude. But I do sincerely take a very great personal interest in that young man, and if I am taken away, Utterson, I wish you to promise me that you will bear with him and get his rights for him. I think you would if you knew all, and it would be a great weight off my mind if you would promise." "I can't pretend I shall ever like him," said the lawyer. "I don't ask that," pleaded Jekyll, laying his hand upon the other's arm. "I only ask for justice," pleaded Jekyll, laying his hand upon the other's arm. "I only ask for justice. I only ask that you help him for my sake, when I'm no longer here." Utterson heaved an irrepressible sigh. "Well," said he, "I promise."
Hit him with that old, I can stop whenever I want.
I can stop whenever I want to. I just don't want to. Hannah said she saw a wild parrot today.
What? That's crazy.
That's fucking awesome. Hannah, where are you that you saw a wild parrot? That's fantastic. I want to know. Where were you and what kind of parrot was it?
Was it an escapee? Didn't you have a parrot escape from your zoo you work at?
We got it back. It didn't get very far. It didn't even leave the premises.
Oh, okay. That's no fun.
It kept flying around the trees within the zoo because it knows that we feed it. But it has specialized food. It can't just fly away and eat whatever it wants.
Does it become lysine deficient after 12 hours without the proper food?
Yeah, that's exactly what it is.
London? I didn't know there were wild parrots in London. That's crazy.
There aren't. There's no... Well, I mean, if it was a wild parrot in London, it escaped somewhere. There are no native parrots to London. There are no native parrots to Europe. That is like a... Parrots are a new world, tropical thing.
I thought they were like South America, but...
Well...
I've been wrong in the past.
They are South American, but the lorikeets that we have...
Yeah, from Australia.
They're from Australia. So there are...
But they're not what I think of when I think of parrots.
You think of macaws.
Yeah.
And, like, African greys. African greys. They're from Africa.
You're kidding.
Yeah.
What?
Parrots are tropical birds. That's the point. Southern hemisphere is a parrot thing. That's where parrots come from. Southern hemisphere. We're good. Not just South America.
Okay. See, I thought there were like I thought there were parrots in like Mexico too. Which I guess could be considered like Southern Hemisphere, but that's like Central America.
Are there parrots native to Mexico?
I don't know.
I'm asking myself that question. Listen, I might have a zoology degree. I might know a shit ton about animals, but I'm going to tell you right now, birds are not my forte. I don't know a shitload about birds. I know more about dinosaurs than I do about modern birds. I don't know a lot about birds.
Another Harry Potter book? Yes, probably. I don't know if you caught it before, but I did post.
Chamber of Secrets.
Chamber of Secrets is up, but you have to follow the link that would be on our Discord. But after this, I'm gonna post it, like on the YouTube channel too.
Right.
So I have a post on here.
So, Ren, after we're done, we'll have book 1 and book 2. It takes a hot minute because we have to re-download each video and then re-upload it, and that just...
And there's a bandwidth restriction on the download and an upload restriction.
So it just takes...
It just takes a while.
It just takes time. It's not that we don't want to, it's just that it literally takes time. And book 3, there are 33 chapters, so it's just going to take a hot minute. But books 1 and 2 are up.
But by Sunday, you should have 8 hours worth of content, at least.
There you go. You really got to do that right now?
Probably closer to 16 hours beyond. Yeah, definitely over 16 hours. So you'll be able to listen
Between
to it on
books
the way
1
up
and
and
2?
down.
Yeah. Is that really necessary?
What?
You got to eat your feet right now?
She's gonna drink my coffee, apparently.
He already listened to Chamber of Secrets.
Oh, alright.
Ren is on it.
Well then, I will definitely get those... Well, yeah, next book will definitely be up by Sunday.
I mean, I could do a live chapter reading of any chapter anyone wants right now.
That's true.
If anyone wants to hear me read any chapter of Harry Potter right now, you just let me know what chapter, and I will read it right now.
De nada, amigo.
But you gotta put it in there. I'm just saying. I'll read any chapter. There's the books. Right there. They're right there. All 7 of them.
I was gonna say, you were all about reading the Harry Potters.
I know, and we got illustrated book 5 coming, guys. We got illustrated book 5 coming. We're gonna do a live stream review of the illustrated copy of Order of the Phoenix. It's coming.
When does that come out?
The 11th.
The 11th.
So it comes out the 11th. We will get it the 11th. And then we will do a live stream review.
And then for anyone who's read Fire and Blood or is starting to because of House of the Dragon, the follow-up book to that is coming out October 28th, I think.
And we will review that as well.
I think it's October 28th.
I think you're right. I thought it was
Plenty
like...
of copies available since people are boycotting it.
I thought it was the 22nd. But...
Well, we got a computer right in front of us.
I
We
mean-
can settle this right now.
I might be pulling a
What
date.
is it called?
I don't know. The History of the House of the Dragon? I don't know. I just know it's coming out. I don't know what it's called.
Available 2022. Is it just Fire? Is it just Fire and Blood 2?
No, there's an illustrated book.
I don't know. I saw a post on it.
Just put wow, okay, Martin. Okay. No, that's not what we want. No, nothing depressing right now.
What? About the Winds of Winter?
No, yeah, that was upsetting. I didn't need to read that, and I just read that, and that hurt me. No, look up, like, illustrated history of the Targaryens.
Blood and Fire? Yeah, Targaryen history number 2. So it's Blood and Fire. Wow.
No, that's not what we're looking at right now. Don't forget that. We don't want to talk about that right now.
Why?
No, because we're looking for the illustrated book that's coming out this month. That's what we're looking at right now.
That's on Goodreads, too. So is that, like, legit?
Fire and Blood, Blood and Fire.
Oh, wait, no, there's actually reviews. So this... Oh, no, do we have a release date? I don't know, strange. What am I looking up?
Illustrated. I would look up illustrated history of the Targaryens. Rise of the Dragon. Maybe that's what it's called. Rise of the Dragon. There it is.
Okay. That's a cool looking cover. Hold on.
Dang, that's an awesome looking cover. Ren says one of their favorite things about Chamber of Secrets is that learning what a dinkus is. Thanks to Biggs.
You're welcome.
Oh god, so many screens.
Well,
You know,
that's because it's
you guys,
after
if
the
you
same
wanted
page.
if you wanted to contribute more financially,
Oh my god, stop it.
someday one of these videos could feature a live kangaroo. And I could put him on my lap like a baby.
Stop.
What?
I mean, if nothing else, is that supposed to be Balerion? Because that is pretty freaking awesome.
I mean, it looks like Balerion.
This makes me just want a Balerion show even more.
It looks like it could be.
Alright, but hold on.
25th.
Where does it say that?
October 25th.
Oh, in big fucking letters on top. But yeah, of course there's got to be some issues with this. Because apparently this guy right here made some racist comments. I think Linda did too, but I know he did.
About the Valarians being black,
yeah,
right?
basically is them casting black actors in
I talked about this
what
at
should be white character roles, but I don't think they ever distinguish.
I talked about this at work, actually. We were talking about this at work today. And my coworker basically said that the Valarians are described as being dark-skinned.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're describing these people as dark-skinned, why can't they be black? Because you're saying, like, they're dark-skinned. Plus, they also have...
Yeah, that's even more of a reason why this man is wrong.
Plus, they have an extensive relationship with the people across the Narrow Sea. And if you know anything about that region right at the edge of the Narrow Sea, is that it's a melting pot of all kinds of people from all over the place.
Yeah.
And that they've intermarried for decades and generations. So why can't the Valarians be black? And both of us agreed, I don't give a shit what their skin tone is. As long as they've got that fucking hair right, they got that Targaryen hair, it's all good.
Mm-hmm.
Dark skin literally could be anything. They could
Yeah.
be black. They could be like Southeast Asian. They could be Indian. They could be Latina. They could literally be anything. Dark skin could be... You could paint that whatever you want to paint that. The fact that you cast them as being black is fine. They could be black. Who the fuck cares?
Feral Parrot.
Oh. Well, that is an entirely different situation, Hannah. That is a situation that needs to be taken under control. And considering that it is spooky season, has anyone heard of the Dracula parrot?
No.
Google that shit. They're fucking
All right.
cool.
But what I was gonna say, and I don't know if it was the Valerians specifically. He just made some comment that he didn't like that certain characters were being acted by people of color. He never specified which roles, just... But I'm pretty sure Valerian's like the only one.
The Valerians are the only black people in the show.
Yeah.
So it's literally them.
Maybe they meant the brothel lady who betrays Damon. When is she gonna come back around? Like,
I bet she'll come back. She'll come back at some point because she's the white worm. She'll come back. His girlfriend, right?
Well, his not fiance
Yeah.
and baby mama.
Look at that guy. Check them out. How
I
cool are
mean-
they?
It's pretty dope.
That's a Targaryen burb.
It is the blood of the dragon.
It is. Look at it. It is the blood of the dragon. It's pretty awesome.
It looks more like a vulture than a parrot.
It does, but it is a parrot. And
Actually, the first words it learns is "Hail Satan."
it is Bebe. You stop it. It is a Bebe. Look that face. That's Bebe.
I mean, yeah, but look at that. That one says, "I'm gonna
There's
kill you."
lots of birds that look like that. Look that face. That's the Bebe.
I mean, he looks very regal. I will give him that.
That's the
He's
Bebe.
extremely regal.
That's the Bebe.
And, well, there's an actual baby.
That is such a Bebe.
Looks
Look
like
at
he's
fluff.
covered in dirt.
Look at the fluffiness. It's a fluffy Bebe. It's a Bebe.
Just screaming.
I mean, burbs do that.
I mean, I do that, so. Sometimes you just gotta let it out.
Yep. They are considered vulnerable by sites, I think. They're not critically endangered, but they're close.
Where are these guys from?
Oh god. On the floor. Jesus, Lola. That took you long enough, didn't it? God.
We had a hairball situation. You got it
Yeah.
all up? I really thought she was gonna, like...
Oh, wow.
Yeah,
Okay,
see.
Dracula parrots are native to New Guinea.
Oh, okay. I swear, I thought you were gonna say, like, Western Europe or something. Like,
No.
everything you just said was gonna be completely...
Nope, they are from
Yeah.
down under. I just thought they were pretty cool, and everyone would appreciate them.
They are very cool.
They're from New Guinea, just like cassowaries.
Okay, no wonder it looks terrifying. It's gotta fight off Kevin.
And tree kangaroos.
I've seen those. Those are cute.
They're super cute. If you don't know what a tree kangaroo is, look it up. It's almost as cute as Dingo, but not quite. But pretty cute still.
So
I
what
said
do you
almost.
think? Do you think we have time for another one, or you feeling up to it?
Oh.
She probably has zoomies. She got that hairball up, and now she just feels so much better.
Just gotta run around everywhere.
Either way. So, you feeling up to another one?
I don't know. I gotta get back into it.
I mean, it's up to you.
Well, I'm trying to see how much we have left. Finally home again. Good night.
Well, good night, Ren. Glad you made it home.
I don't know if I can do another one. I think I gotta find it again. Because I was looking up stuff while we were chit-chatting here.
Welcome back, Kayla. We're just deciding on whether we're going to read another one. Well, Lex is.
I don't know if I got it in me to read another one.
Not feeling it?
Probably not today, but if you want to...
Maybe you should take some cold medicine tonight.
But if we want to stream during the day tomorrow, we could probably read more.
I mean...
Like in the afternoon?
I mean, I'm home all day tomorrow, so whenever.
So if you wanted to do like a noon or 1 o'clock thing?
Yeah, why not?
Then we can read more? Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Alright, let's do that then.
Alright.
But in the meantime...
So, we gonna sign off then, or you wanna express your love for Dingo a little bit more?
You want to give me a public platform to continue to express my love for Dingo?
That's a bad idea. Yeah, so that's it for us tonight.
Dingo is the bestest baby. He is the most beautifulest, handsome man. He is special. He is one of a kind.
He is a star. He has pizzazz.
No, not a dingo. It's a kangaroo named Dingo. And she wants to have...
He's
a
a
dingo.
star. He's a star. Look at this face and tell me. Kayla, you would know. Kayla would know. She's probably seen enough roos in her life to know a special roo when she sees one.
Just because she's Australian doesn't mean that. I've seen thousands of deer in my life, but I wouldn't know which one was special.
Look at, is that not a special boy? You know. Look at that face. That is a special boy.
He is super cute.
He's special. He's a star. He's a star. He's got pizzazz. He's got a certain je ne sais quoi. She sides with me. It's me. She knows.
My God.
She knows I know what I'm talking about. Look at it. That is star quality right there.
He can't live with us.
Yes, he can. Look at him.
What's that snail shape? You know, it's like the ultimate shape.
It's pizzazz. Star
I
quality.
can't remember what it was. The spiral shape. Yeah, this shape.
The golden spiral?
Yeah.
Yeah, Dingo fits in there.
That's the shape of him.
That means he's... Look it. Yeah. Look. He fits.
Yeah, the Fibonacci golden spiral.
He fits. He fits the Fibonacci spiral. It means he's so super special. He fits. It's meant to be. He fits.
Anyway.
Also, bonus points to everyone. How big is your yard? Big enough, Kayla.
What did you say he needed? Like 200 square feet?
Minimum of 50 by 50. For one.
Okay, we probably have probably just under 200 square feet. So
We got room.
eh.
Also, bonus for look at Sleepy Bailey under the covers.
That picture isn't as red as it appears on the video.
No, it looks really red. Here's a better one. There's Bailey. Doing a concerned. I could have shown him this one. See, she knows. He's cute.
Bailey, yes. Bailey's very cute.
Dingo is cute.
All right.
He's big.
So on that note,
Are
what'd
we
you
done?
say? Tomorrow at 1? You want to do it?
Is that enough? Is that enough time
I think so. It'll
between
be fine.
morning and after? Both are cute. Kayla acknowledges. They're both cute.
We gotta sign off before there's a kangaroo being delivered tomorrow. Everyone's just like, get the kangaroo, get the kangaroo.
Yeah, get the kangaroo.
No,
I know
stop
where.
it.
I know where to order the food. I can get the food. I know where to get the food.
Too many animals. All right. So tomorrow at 1.
Yeah, I think 1:00 is probably a good medium
All right.
point
Tomorrow,
of the day.
1 p.m. Read more Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde. We should have more time. Get through some more.
Well,
Maybe you'll be feeling a little bit better.
we've read 4 chapters. There's only like 5 more to go.
Okay.
So
Well, hopefully you're feeling better. Hopefully this isn't the start of something and tomorrow.
no. I think it's just
I'll just bring the stuff into the bedroom and you can read from your sick bed.
I'm not sick. I'm not sick.
Have a good night.
Everybody,
See you later, Kayla.
we'll see y'all tomorrow, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. More Jekyll and Hyde. We will do it.